Chris McEwen and his wife Zoe got me this shirt when they went to see Death Cab for Cutie at the Hollywood Bowl in California for the Transatlanticism 20th anniversary tour. And such a good shirt. I love it. I love that band. Anyway, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Welcome back to That Range Life, a channel sometimes about golf here on YouTube. Do me a favor, as always, go down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time we post a video here on the channel. And if you don't mind, since you're already down there, maybe hit the like button, give it a thumbs up. It always helps and we appreciate it. My name is Bill Bush. I am from drivingrangeheroes.com. You can follow me at Range Heroes on all of these social media platforms. I appreciate that as well. All right. It's that time of year. Cool new golf stuff's coming out and actually hitting the shelves and rolling through. And I got one I'm really excited about. I've heard some good things going back a few months, but now I actually have my hands on one of them. A box from Cobra. Let's get into it. The brand new Cobra DS-Adapt LS driver. I got the LS. There's 4 different models in the new driver series. You have the low spin LS like this, smaller, more compact 445cc profile, available in 9 degrees and 10.5 degrees. I got the 10.5 degree here. They are also making the DS-Adapt. By the way, DS standing for dark speed. So this is the next evolution in the dark speed lineage, okay? Like last year, they also have the DS-Adapt X. That's your more wide-reaching standard driver option. Available 9 degrees, 10.5 degrees as well. Like I said, it's their standard model, so it has a better balance, maybe, and not as focused on a lower spin and launch like the LS version is, and I would say more standard, more medium, more moderate on everything. 460cc profile. Then you have the DS-Adapt Max K. Now this one is 10K MOI. That's a new thing here, right, where we're measuring MOI in terms of how much it wants to twist this way and this way. So the total value being 10,000 and how they measure it. So it's a 10K MOI design, super forgiving, low and deep center of gravity, easy to launch, that kind of a deal. That is available in 9, 10.5, and 12 degrees. And then the Max D, which is a draw bias version, so it will have a heel weighting for more left influence, and that is available in 10.5 degrees and 12 degrees. All right, so those are the 4 different models in the new DS-Adapt line. I keep wanting to call it dark speed, and I'm sure I could get away with it, but I'm gonna do my best, and bear with me as I stumble through that. Anyway, all of them have a lot of similar design concepts, so I'll walk you through some of those and the technology that goes into these. Okay, first, all of them have something called adaptive weighting by way of adjustable weights, and then the Power Bridge technology. Now, note about the Power Bridge. They do not offer the Power Bridge in the 10.5 degree options of the low spin LS model and the X model, only in the 9 degrees. And basically what that thing does, it creates a more weight and mass right behind the face, forward in the head, to help bring down your spin and your launch a little bit, basically to keep the ball from ballooning too much and spinning. That's why they have that extra weight there that you won't have necessarily in a 10.5 degree option. You won't have in the 10.5 degree option. So what's kind of nice in this 10.5 degree LS not having it for me, I am not good with a super high weight forward in a club head, I figured out. I don't know. I don't think it's so much the characteristics, but more the feel for me. The balance is weird. So I think not having that power bridge in this 10.5 degree option of the low spin, I can still get a little weight forward by the way of the adjustable weights if I need to. Um, but I'm kind of an in-betweener. I think I swing a little too fast and don't need to launch as much of the X, but maybe, I'm not a professional grade player, and so super low spin isn't something I'm looking for either. So I think this 10.5 degree will be a good fit for me, like I said, as an in-betweener. Strategic center of gravity placements, depending on which club you're getting, is why they call it adaptive weighting. Like I said, the X and the Max version are going to have a low and deep center of gravity to help get that ball in the air and holding it there, whereas the LS model allows you to drive it forward for low, low, low. Okay. Still, all models have a high amount of carbon fiber in them. This isn't new necessarily in drivers, but how much they use and where is changes from model to model. And looking at this, there's a significant amount on the crown. There's a little bit on the sole here, and by reducing weight and using a lighter material, and you want to still use a strong material in these areas, it allows the club company, in this case Cobra, to position weight in more strategic places so the club's more balanced and you get the characteristics in your flight and feel and all those things that you're looking for. So lots of carbon fiber in here, definitely in the crown. This will also, I'm assuming, based on my experience, will play a pretty significant role in the sound and feel of the club as well. Not obviously the feel from the weighting and balance, like I mentioned, but in the response and the feedback in your hands. So a lot of carbon fiber, hot face technology, highly optimized topography, I believe is what that stands for. They've used it now for a few years, but essentially this creates thickness and thinness in the face in all the right places. I believe they use AI model, have used AI modeling for that in the past to figure out, okay, we have it as thin as we possibly can to get maximum results and still stay within legal limits in all the right places, or it's as thick as it needs to be, because sometimes they do need a little thicker, right? So that's a hot face technology, and that's essentially what it does. Gives you the right level of thickness everywhere you need it to be in the face. So the big thing that I feel like everybody's here for and probably has heard about is the Future Fit 33 adapter. I feel like this is a general technology that hasn't necessarily been all that exciting, and it's been around for some time. But this is a big one for Cobra. They've used the same adapter for quite a while. Now this new one, it's the most innovative adapter and metalwood fitting technology to date, they say. And it gives you 33 unique loft and lie setups. Now, personally, I think that can be a little daunting. You're going to the driving range and what's right for you. That can get a little tricky. But in a fitting situation, with a good fitter who knows what they're looking at, knows how to work with you, they can dial this in now pretty precisely to get you hitting the ball with the right shape, the right launch, all those things you want, with just some quick adjustments of this adapter, not putting a bunch of tungsten and swing weight adjustments. A lot they can do here. So I'll be interested to see. I'm assuming it works. I wonder how fine that tuning really is going to matter for someone like me or really anyone else. But there's certainly something compelling to it, and I'm excited to try it out. I hope I don't get what they call analysis paralysis and trying too hard, but it's nice to know I don't really have to make a whole bunch of crazy changes just to, I might be able to get a little more refined improvements instead of big sweeping changes or something like that. So yeah, we'll find out how this goes. I'm excited to tinker with it nonetheless. Anyway, you know that when you add loft or remove loft, it also opens and closes the faces and things like that. So if I want to take some loft off, I'm going to have more of an open face. I want to add some loft. It's going to close the face a little bit, and especially at address. And then we can get into the whole argument about how it sets up at address versus the dynamic loft and line face angles and all those things. Not going to go down that path. But with the smart pad technology on the soles of these Cobra drivers, you can adjust that Future Fit 33 adapter to whatever setting. It's still going to set up square at impact, or I'm sorry, at address every time. That's one of the big things. And they've used that in the past, and I do feel like it sets up a little nicer, makes a difference. So we'll see how that works. I'm excited to I'm excited to see how, I mean, God, this LS, it's such a good footprint. It's going to look great behind the ball. And boy, that smart pad should help it set up perfectly for me. Can't wait to see. So overall, I mean, man, tell you what, this thing looks really good, and I've been excited to see them in person since I started seeing pictures. I loved how the original dark speeds look, but these are a little more refined, I think, and you can tell it's definitely an evolution of an already great line of clubs. It's also worth noting that all four drivers are going to have a little bit of a different head shape to them. It's the improved Aero shaping. If that Aero term sounds familiar, you can look back to the Aerojet where they really, really leaned into an aerodynamic head shape to reduce drag and increase speed. The shape's going to be different depending on the player and who the club's geared for. So you don't really see a ton of crazy shaping and lines and contours in the LS because generally the person swinging a low speed or a low spin driver has enough speed. They're not looking to generate more. So the aerodynamics aren't playing as much of a role here. Whereas you start getting into the X, the 10K, or I'm sorry, the Max K, you start getting into those ones and the shapes start changing a little bit because those players could use a little help with speed, and so they want to make them faster and reduce that drag. So if you look at pictures of them, and maybe I can drop one in here, the four shapes are a little bit different based on the needs of the player they are geared towards. Let's look at this too real quick. I think it's worth noting. Wrench, that's always key. Small little detail. I think the head cover is super cool. That's a nice quality OEM head cover. Oh, look at that. Look at that little design. This is nice. All drivers start at $549 and are available in left-handed. So I don't feel like you see that all the time now in this day and age with the different models where you can get all the versions of them in left-handed. But Cobra, you can this year. Tons of custom options. Nice stock option here. I got the Fujikura Pro Black. It's a nice shaft. There's a review of that over on DriveRangeHeroes.com. But that's what I went with for the stock option. But tons of different options if you want to customize it for reasonable upcharges and dial it in exactly how you want it. All right. Review coming soon. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Do all those things so you get notified and hit the bell so you get notified when something comes up on the channel about this, and follow along at Range Heroes so when the review's up on the website you don't miss it. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to Cobra for setting this one over. I can't wait to hit it. Hopefully this weekend. And thanks. See you soon.